So my question for you is, if Mark is gifted some supernatural powers from some aliens, what powers would Mark wish for and how would he use for the betterment of world?
It's a good question. All right, so one of the great things about technology is you actually can build superpowers for people in the world. And you know, that's some of the stuff that I think is really exciting. So when I think about what we're doing with Oculus, for example, I think that what we're really enabling is people to teleport, right? You know, you're going to be able to put on a headset and go anywhere you want in the world. You'll be able to go to places that are impossible to go to in the world. I mean, one of my favorite recent demos from Oculus is, you know, you put on the headset and you're in this room with someone else who has the headset on somewhere else that can be in a completely different place. And there's this table in front of you. Of course, it's virtual. And there's a ping pong paddle on it. You can pick up the ping pong paddle and you can start playing ping pong with the other person. And it just feels pretty awesome. It's like, all right, well, I might be in a completely different location from them, but we can kind of teleport and come together and have that experience. But that's only the beginning, because then where it really starts to get awesome is you can then, in that experience, you can dial up and down gravity. So you can simulate, you can turn off gravity, and you can simulate what it would be like to play ping pong with a friend in space, or underwater. Or you can make it, you know, anti-gravity. So that way, you know, the ball floats away and you have to hit it down in order to make it so that it doesn't go away. So, I mean, that's pretty crazy, right? And in the future, I think, you know, not too far out, we're going to have the ability to just put on a basic headset and instantaneously go anywhere in the world that you want. And that is going to be pretty good.
Copperfield got involved in magic at the age of 10.
When I did magic, I found I could do it very well.
By age 12, he became the youngest person ever to be admitted to the Society of American Magicians. Copperfield's official website described him as, quote, already an accomplished conjurer by the age of 12. At 16, he was a professor at New York University teaching magic. Copperfield has done many magic acts that have gone down in history as some of the most astounding of all time. In this magic act aired on national television in 2001, Copperfield throws a ball behind his head into the audience. He then asks the woman who got the ball to close her eyes and throw the ball anywhere she wants. She throws the ball, and it is caught by a man. Copperfield then asks that person what his initials are. He says TS.
Do that right now. Brett, say hi to TS.
Hey, TS.
He then tells him to write TS on his arm using a black marker. Copperfield then takes a Polaroid picture of him and some other members of the audience. He then has one of them sign the bottom of the picture. At that point, Copperfield and an audience member get into an exposed thin steel cage, and they disappear right in front of the thousands of audience members. They teleport 4,000 miles away to a beach in Hawaii where they have a live camera set up. Copperfield then shows the audience back in Memphis the Polaroid picture he just took with audience members in Memphis, as well as the TS marking on his arm. Copperfield then teleports back to Memphis, appearing instantly in the midst of the crowd. Copperfield shows some sand he grabbed from the beach during his trip. In the same event in Memphis, Copperfield made a coin fall in slow motion in a person's hand. He also caused a picture to move on paper. Copperfield also levitated audience members during this same show. Over the years, Copperfield has levitated many people.
We floated people outside in broad daylight.
I am too scared. This is nothing.
Want to go again?
He has even flown through the air while proving that he doesn't have any cables or wires attached. He will even carry a person into the air with him as he flies around. Copperfield has included random members of his live audience in his magic acts throughout the decades. For example, in this act, he asked to borrow a tie from a young member of the audience.
Jake, step over here, Jake. Can I borrow your tie? Do you mind? I promise to return it to you later.
Copperfield then moves the tie around in ways that are absolutely impossible without supernatural assistance. The tie then appears to move on its own. At the end of his act with the tie, he places it in a closed box where it continues to move around.
Please bring down your concertina and play
In 2012, Copperfield did an online interview. One person asked Copperfield, quote, "Are you the devil?" Copperfield responded to the question not by answering no, but by saying, quote, "I don't think so." Copperfield has worked a number of, quote, miracles over the decades. Copperfield also walked through the Great Wall of China. During this event, the camera never cut away at any time. He did this in front of witnesses standing right above the wall. Before Copperfield decides to come out completely on the other side of the wall, he only puts his hands through the wall. He then puts his hands back into the wall. A short time after that, he decides to go completely through the wall. He is then congratulated by the witnesses who saw what he did.
you impressed with this, or even Jesus, if you are impressed, it shows how gullible and ignorant you are to your true abilities within you. If you want to show some love with a like, or even better with a donation, it's up to you. These are the best times for that. Show love to one of the realest to ever be in this platform. Like, for reals, like, if you're impressed by this, you really don't understand the abilities inside of you. It's that simple. I'm telling you. And there's the evidence. You saw it yourself. I'm out.